Fambo de ono Creole, this is not Krio Borbor. Guys, if you are just watching this video and you have no idea what I just said, keep paying attention. I'm going to do the rest of it in English. I want to do something that I should have done a long time ago, and I'm going to make a video right now as I'm driving home from work. And I'm going to explain, I'm going to tell you who I am, what the heck is this whole Krio Borbor thing, why did you come up with that name, what does it mean, and then what am I up to, like what am I doing? And I want to let you guys know my strategy and plan for this channel, because there has been no plan, strategy, nothing thus far. It's just been here and there, you know, a video here, a couple a year, nothing crazy. And I'm going to start putting out a lot of videos with a specific purpose in mind. So first of all, I want to share like a little bit about my story. I'm going to be quick because I'm driving home right now, and this thing has to be shorter than the distance it takes me to get home because I got dinner, and that's how it's going to be. So, and by the way, I usually shoot these videos one time and I don't do editing on them. So there's going to be, you know, whatever. So, real quick, and some of you guys have heard this, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, here we go again. But I do want to share this. So, I didn't even know what Sierra Leone was in 2009. That's 13 years ago. I am Mormon. I'm from Utah. And in the Mormon or LDS church, what happens is when a young man turns 18, and at the time when I was 19, it used to be 19, what you do is you can apply basically for what's called a mission. Long story short, you have to go through some qualifications. It's not paid, it's actually volunteer, and you or your family has to actually pay a certain amount of money every month. Here's the catch. You do not get to pick where you go. You are told, here's where you're going. So for example, I went to Sierra Leone. My little brother went to England, Birmingham, which I think they pronounce it Birmingham. And then my other little brother went to Colorado Springs, Colorado. So there's literally no picking. So December 1st of 2009, I remember exactly, I was in college. I was in a psychology class that I absolutely loathed. And I opened up my BlackBerry, and my mom had texted me and said, hey, you have some mail. And at the time, they were sending out these letters, like actual physical letters, and it would say, here's where you're going, here's the date you're going, here's the language you're speaking, here's what you need to pack and get ready, because it's 2 years. By the way, this is a 2-year thing. It's not a walk in the park, but incredible experience. I'm just running a red light. You know, I'm really doing this right on this video. Anyway, so I opened up this letter. I drove home from college, opened up this letter, and it said, you're going to Sierra Leone. You're going to Freetown. And I thought, you know, that sounded like, I didn't know where that was. I was like, I have no idea where that's at. I mean, I know that sounds sad to say, but I had no idea. And I went into the computer and I typed in Sierra Leone, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is in Africa. And I know you probably think I'm just saying this, but like I was ecstatic. I don't know why, but like that just, I really, Africa sounded amazing. So anyway, what happened is a couple months later, they put me on a flight and I got sent to Ghana. And in Ghana, I got trained for 3 weeks on how to be a missionary and, you know, some of the stuff about the culture, etc. I was there for 3 weeks. And then after 3 weeks, they put me on another airplane and they sent me to Sierra Leone, to Freetown. And I arrived in Lungi. And no kidding, I got a piece of a letter, or a piece of mail that from what they called my mission president. And that thing, it said, here's the instructions. When you land, you're going to ask somebody to borrow their phone. You're going to call this number. Make sure to include the area code. Or maybe it didn't say that, but it said, call this number. You're going to flash somebody. Which means, as you know, if you're from Sierra Leone, you're not going to show your body parts, but it means you're going to let it ring once, and then you're going to hang up, and it's going to tell the other person, hey, I don't have any money on my phone. Call me back. It says you're going to flash this number, and these people are going to call you back, and you're going to tell them what time you're going to be arriving, and somebody will be there to pick you up. That is literally the instructions that we got. And somehow we made it to Freetown. And from there, I spent 2 years all over Freetown, and Bo, and a little bit of time in Liberia. My first, little bit was in Lumley, right there near Newgrass Field. Then I was transferred over to Kissy. From Kissy, I went to Bo. was in Bow for about 6 months. I came back to Grafton and Waterloo. And then from there, I went and I lived in this area called Belliere Park. And I was in this specific area called Dwazac. And that's where it all started. And that's where I came to know where Sierra Leone was, all these things that, like, I wish that there's a way I could put it into words. I can't. But that was the beginning. And so I had this experience. It was incredible. Obviously life-changing. I'm sure you expect me to say that, but like, it was beyond life-changing. I think about it every day to this day. And I came home and I started my life, and I started doing, I was working for my dad, and then I started a job, at Staples selling copy paper and pens and computers. And then I started doing door-to-door sales. And a couple of years later, like, I kept wanting to visit, but, money, and we kept having kids, like we had a couple kids, and there was never a good time. And one day in 2017, I just had this idea, and I was like, I just want to have a reason to just, study the I don't know. I just wanted to, like, feel like I was tied in, I guess is the way to describe it. And so I had this idea is right before I went to bed, and I was like, I'm going to create this Instagram account, and I'm going to speak Creole, because I had learned how to speak Creole. And I believe I learned how to do so in a quick amount of time, in an above average way. And I was like, I'm just going to start putting out videos about, like, how to speak Creole. And I'm going to, hopefully, I can connect with some people from Sierra Leone. And I had a job where I was knocking door to door as a salesperson, and I had traveled to all these different states. And every time I knocked on the door of somebody I knew was from Africa, I was like, hey, do you know anyone from Sierra Leone? And in 4 years of doing that job, I never one time came across someone from Sierra Leone, and it was super frustrating. I would search on Facebook. I'm like, I moved to Arkansas. I'm like, how do I connect with people from Sierra Leone so I can, we can eat groundnut soup and cassava leaf and all these things. I never could do it. So one of my reasonings with this Instagram account was I can connect with Sierra Leoneans all over the world and all over wherever I travel. So I created the Instagram account, and I was like, what should I call it? And I knew how to speak Creole, and so I said, you know what? And by the way, Krio Borbor, it's just spelled Borbor. It means Creole boy. And I was like, hey, I can speak Creole, and I'm just a young kid, so I named it Krio Borbor. That's all it. It wasn't any other further thing besides that. That's what I named it. I created this account. I went to sleep, and I woke up, and I created. I filmed the video. I was standing in the corner of my bedroom, and I shot a video, and I posted it. And I kept doing that, and yeah, that's it. That's how it started. I started posting videos about, like, me speaking in Creole and how I learned and my experience. And I got a lot of cool feedback. I got a lot of people that didn't like it. They told me that I shouldn't be using the Creole because it's, like, part of, their tribe, and I'm white and I'm pretending to be African and all kinds of different stuff. But for the most part, I had really, really cool, supportive people. And over the years, I like, what I've been able to do with that is I've been able to connect with people all over the world. So every time I go to LA or to any other state, I can immediately jump on and post and say, hey, who's in this city? And I can immediately connect with people. That's one of the things. I've been able to not only do that, but I've been able to use this account and this kind of, like, channel, if you will, to find and hire 5 employees in West Africa to help me with my main business called Evergreen, where we do lead generation services for small businesses in the U.S. It's allowed me to connect with some really, like, powerful, well-to-do people that are Sierra Leonean and that have visited, and it's been incredible. And so I'm just in the beginning. Like, I have so many ideas, so many plans that I want to do with this, but more than anything, it's cool because it allows me to just talk about something that I'm really passionate about. And so you're going to see a lot of stuff from me. But what I want to share with you is this, because this is going to start picking up. You're going to start seeing this. Is what I'm going to start doing is, because the name is Krio Borbor, I'm going to start sharing from just going very ground level. I'm going to start sharing videos on how to speak Creole. Okay. And I'm talking about basic stuff, so that if you're just starting and you're like, what the heck does this word mean? And how do I greet? And how do I ask to go to the bathroom? And how do I ask about this? And how do I ask about that? I'm going to share all of that. I'm going to go very, very basic and build on it. This isn't going to be like very like, it's not going to be necessarily structured in, hey, here's the sentence structure and this and that. It's going to be like, hey, here's how you greet, here's how you get around, here's how this. It's going to be very much like that. And we're going to see where it goes. And I'm going to get into some of the more advanced stuff that I've learned. And again, I know I don't know everything. I know there's people that are, non-native Sierra Leoneans that probably speak it better than me. Maybe I just, share more than everybody else. But I want, in an effort to allow more people to tap into this language, to understand the culture, to understand the experience that I had, that are preparing to go, that have interest in going, that just want to learn more, I'm going to start sharing those things, and I'm going to start with sharing the language. And I'm going to share it the way I learned it. I didn't learn it from a textbook. I didn't learn it in a training. I didn't learn it as from a professor. I learned it by literally walking out the front door of my apartment and falling flat on my face. And I started with one phrase, that is "Audi Bodi." I knew how to say that, "Audi Bodi." I didn't even know how to respond. I just knew that, "Audi Bodi," and I practiced the tonation and the deal. And man, it's been a wild journey. So I'm going to share how I learned Krio, and I'm going to teach you Krio in the way that I learned it, which is phrase by phrase by phrase by phrase, until I started piecing everything together. And it's going to be fun. So if you haven't already, if you want to get notified, check out, click the button, whatever. And I'm going to be dropping a couple videos a week. So we're going to really see a ramp up in this, and we're going to see where this goes. So with that said, I'm going to say something that they say in Creole when you kind of end a conversation, end a little get together, and you say, "Nine dots."